Good morning and good evening, everyone. This is Kiran Edupuganti from Retriever by Automation channel from the Base Talks About column. I believe I took a significant amount of time to publish next video. Next video that's about how to choose the tools in your best fit strategy. I've been working on some other technical topics on the research side out of my personal time. And to publish this video took some time. I thought I can summarize this in the 4 or 5 slides, but when it is started, it went into a very good comprehensive information. So it would be around 20 slides. So I'm going to give a brief on a session in depth which covers the tools which is best fit for learning the tools out of available ecosystem. I have drawn entirely out of my experience and I have put my thoughts so that it is useful to uh, the new juniors who are going to start their journey in the automation side, and the folks who are switching over from the functional to automation side, and the folks who are really working for a kind of consult from the experts. And this is going to be helpful to optimize their learning journey on the specific tools. Okay. So before going to in detail about this particular session, I'm going to overview on my channel, and whoever is not gone through earlier, uh, it's a kind of a quick glance, and I wanted to congratulate the subscribers who subscribed my channel there recently, and for them it is also going to be a good handbook for them to start their journey. Okay, so without further delay, let me switch over to the my channel and medium blog where I'm writing apart from the voiceover in the YouTube site. Okay, so if you go to the rewire by automation.medium, just so this is the page I have in the medium blog. Okay, so I have started a month back. So so far I have published very comprehensive the stories in the two areas. One is empowering the workforce. The second one is tools and technology uh, segment. Okay, so recently last month I have published uh, empowering the mid-career QA professionals from functional to automation roles. Okay, just this is the story I have published. Okay, so if you have time, and you can walk through this one so that it may be helpful to you. This one thing, and Appium. So in the recent times, we have seen the major changes in the Appium site. So I thought of publishing useful information. So I have created a the stories in two formats, in a two steps wise. One is the setup, second one is the implementation. So this is the implementation, comprised of about 12 videos which talks about implementation, primarily focused on the new features implemented in the Appium server and client side. Okay. This is useful for the mobile automation aspirants. And then automation soft skills that I have published. So whoever is started and very eager to learn the continue this journey, for them it is definitely a handbook to enhance their journey than expected. Okay, so this is the one that I have published. You may go through whenever you get time. There is another story. That first one, this is the first one which I published when I started association with the Medium blogging platform. It has given a very simple and light uh, platform to publish our thoughts, our experience, and our vision. Okay, so this is the story which talks about setup of the app, and I'm not going to end this journey. So as soon as Appium gets updated, I'm going to publish uh, a latest version. If it is really impacting the technical features, I'm going to publish on top of this one. I'll tag this one, and then I'll publish the latest features. And from my column, that is page tags about, wherever you see uh, review by automation or API stack talks about, that's me. Okay, so this is about my medium, the blogging. And when coming to the uh, YouTube, very simple. So you can open YouTube, new system, and just search for the at review by automation. So you will be prompted with my information. So with the this particular logo symbol, I personally designed myself so that I'll be recognized with this one. So these are the, if you go here and you'll find out plenty of the useful videos. So far, I have reached about 40 useful videos, and out of which two are playlist, and each playlist contains about 12 videos. So one is two playlist, that is setup and Appium implementation. There are the general videos which is useful to the folks who are starting their journey in the automation side. Okay, so this is the from YouTube. In the Google also you can do it. So you can give a three-wire by automation. So these are the all my topics have been published over here. You can click any of these links and it will navigate to the Medium page or YouTube channel as well. Okay, so that's about me, and I'm going to publish a few technical topics as soon as I get any free time out of my the business hours. Okay, and slowly this journey will continue, and I primarily focused on the putting the right content out of my experience. Okay, there is no makeover, there is no adding the additional things. Whatever the topics that talks about, the focus is on the objective of the title, and it will contain the relative uh, content only which comes out of my experience. Okay, so I'm putting it in the two formats. One is written, second one is the voice over. Okay, since it is a two formats, and definitely it is consuming a lot of time, but the frequency of the post coming from my end is very less as compared to others, but my target to aim on the quality of the content. Okay, so let's switch over to the topic that I have planned today. So this is purely a kind of a theoretical basis. I'm not going to walk through any of the tools, but I'm going to explain how we can choose the tools based on certain factors um, that will be suit to your career and your path. At the same time, it is useful to your organization where you are working and the customer that you are serving. Okay, so let's go ahead. So this is the topic that I have come up with. It is finding your best fit, a guide to choosing automation tools and solutions for learning and mastery. So here, the solutions means anything that is coming from the out of the tools. We um, coin it as a solutions. So just make a note solutions that we are forming uh, using the different libraries and making that as a automation solution for any of the platforms. Okay, I'll explain in detail so that you'll come to know. So this is about the topic over here. So let's go ahead. So this is the brief program that I have here. So the primarily here. So before going to this particular the session, I would advise you to go through two topics. One is empowering mid-career professions, that is shift from functional roles to automation excellence. So this program would advise what exactly the workforce look at, how they can transform their journey from the functional to the automation, where I have given the certain inputs. Those inputs are linked to this particular session that I'm going to deliver it today. Okay, so that's why. So you can go through my Medium blog, and it has interconnectivity. What are the sessions that coming out of empowering the workforce? It has a interconnectivity. So that's why I'm emphasizing whoever is going through this session. Okay. Then next is, yeah, this is the model that I came up with. One is that is a triple model. Um, so I would say this is the best fit strategy for the professionals that really aspiring for the automation journey and desperately looking for the what tools to be learned uh, at a first to become as a sound uh, automation engineer. Okay, so in this one, my best fit strategy is approach. Okay, so for anything that you are starting, our approach should be clear and concise, so that our journey will be smooth. And the next is the action, how we can take the action. Next is once you are taking the action, how we can adopt, and how we can practice this particular thing that we have we have learned across. Okay, so whatever the session that I have here, which covers the action and adopt together, so that it is useful for you to take those inputs. And this particular session predominantly covers on the approach. Okay, predominantly covers on the approach that we have. So once this is, if you have this one, definitely you can go through this automation soft skills from my Medium blog, and that definitely gives an input to you. So throughout your journey, you may implement those inputs wherever you get an opportunity. Okay, so that's why whatever the topics with respect to the empowering the workforce that I am interrelating each other, so that you have the connectivity, whatever the inputs that I'm providing these these platforms. Okay, so that's about this program. So in this one, the best fit strategy I'm going to give in detail on the approach, how we can take that approach. Okay, moving ahead, approach that I have. So this is that approach that I came up with. Okay, so one is, so the approach that I have started in two lanes, I would say two parts. One is platform overview. The second one is tools and technology overview. Okay. So obviously the basic fonda is whatever the tools that you are using is, you have to be play those tools on the applications only. But internally, what those applications, what is their platform, those as a beginner that you have to be very clear. Okay. So that's why. So whoever is starting, I want you to think in these two lines, two paths, so that your path will be very, very clear. Okay. One is platform overview. Second one is tools and technology overview. So my entire session is focused on these two terms. Okay. So with the integration of the remaining components. So in the platform overview, it will focus on the applications. What kind of applications I'm categorizing into this, the platform overview. I'm going to give overview on this particular component in the next slide. Okay. And then tools and technologies. So primarily, you folks may not be aware what is commercial and what is open source. That I'm going to give overview on the next slides. Okay. So entirely different. Okay. Either we need to choose the commercial line or we need to choose the open source line. If you're so smart and so intelligent, so quick discover, you are able to remember all, you may take those. But when you are starting this journey first, when you are just starting your shifting, then at least you need to choose one path, no, at least you choose one component out of this path. Okay. So on what factors that you are going to take the decision, so that depends on the various factors. Okay. One thing is once you are aware of what applications that you are interested in, applications platform means web, mobile, database site, or ERP based site. These are the platforms that I'm going to call it out. Okay. If you are so interested in the SAP side, okay. If you are interested in you have business knowledge, now you wanted to expand, or you wanted to transform into a automation using your business knowledge on the SAP platform. Yeah, obviously that is a good decision. But what tools is the matters now? Okay. What tools is the matters that you have to do a kind of a research, or it is information is already available, then you are good, you can go ahead without any further consultation. Okay. If you are still not clear, then this consult phase will come. I have given very detailed information on this consult in uh, the session how to empower the functional to automation. So you can refer there. Basically, this this particular blog will focus on the, yeah, you have certain information, but you need to work with somebody who expert in the automation side, so that they should be in a position to give you the better judgment and better path so that you can start your journey. Okay. So that's why once you are having the information on the platform overview, having the information on the tools and technology, and you're having the information on the commercial and open source, then you can easily. So this information, commercial and open source and tools and technology, I'm going to give a detail on this session, but a platform overview, since already a kind of experience, I feel that you have some overview on this particular component. But when coming to these, so you might have heard, but you can get a clear, concise information from the upcoming slides. Okay. So once you get all this information, you may have consent, and you can work with whoever is your colleague who really expert in this particular domain. So you can consult them and take the decision. But while you are taking the decision, you have to factor certain things. Okay, so you are choosing something that should benefit you always. Okay, in three ways. Basically, whoever is working in the corporate side, so definitely they have organization, they have customer, and they have their own self aspiration as well, own interest as well. Those things you must consider while you're choosing first time you're choosing any of the tool. So suppose, for example, you are good in certain area and you wanted to choose one particular tool, and how that is going to be benefit to your organization, your customer needs, and your area of interest. That is, at the end of the day, you should be satisfied. Okay, and sometimes it may not be possible. It may be you're interested in something, but you have the opportunities in different area. So you should be in change mindset. You should adapt change mindset. That's why I have coined over here adaptability. So that you should be a change your thought process, to make yourself adapt to the organization and commercial needs. That may be a 5 or 10%. Sometimes otherwise, uh, as per my experience, almost it may matches. Sometimes it may not. But yeah, you should be in a position to take the challenge, the change, and go ahead. Okay, so that's why I mentioned factors to to consider. That is, the tool today, if you are choosing one thing that should benefit, okay, your career path and your organization and your customer needs as well. Okay, you'll learn, then definitely you'll get, if you're working on the particular assignment, and you will get an experience. At the same time, the business object will be fulfilled, and at the same time organization business objects will be fulfilled. So you need to factor these things. Okay, something if you are taking, you have to think in your all these three angles and take the step. Okay, so that is, so sometimes you may not be in the particular assignment, but at the same time, so the work you are doing today, definitely it is going to yield results in the future as well. Okay, so keep that point in your mind, and learn whatever. Suppose self interest, you wanted to go with web services. Yes, keep that gel in you and start the journey. Okay, so that is going to be helpful in your path wherever you are. So once you have you have consulted and you have some information in hand, you have consulted and you have considered, the what is going on in your organization, what is going on in the customer side and your area of interest, and you have matched the particular tool. Yes, 75% is matching all these three needs. It will be helpful in the future if I go through this particular tool. That will be called it as a right tool stack. Okay, that will be called it as a right tool stack that I'm going to say. Okay. So this is my, the strategy, go-to strategy in two parts that will be combined and conclude and will be benefit to in all aspects wherever you are. It's not only, just, benefit to you. At the same time, you are working for the organization, working for the customer, it should be benefited in all ways. Okay. So this is the approach. This approach I am going to connect and I'm going to give a detail. Okay. So let's move ahead. Now I'm going to give a overview on the platform side. You might be aware these areas, applications, landscape. Whenever you say platform, applications come in your mind. Okay. Okay. Generally, most of the 90% um, front end applications. I focused on the front end applications on the um, GUI side. So I have drafted in such a way that that will fit to the our GUI needs. Okay, I'm not talking about any performance, or I'm not talking about any of the backend services or core database services here. I'm talking about only focused on the front end, where most of the customers are focused on their functional testing and automation side. Okay, so here Uh, the applications are designed to serve various business operations spread across diversified industries and over strong legacy. Okay, here I'm not only talking about only particular industry. Whatever the platforms that I have mentioned below is spread across all the industries. Okay, you take transportation, you take airlines, you take healthcare, you take retail, and you take learning. So all these platforms, you may have these applications as on today on the market. Okay, so the first one is desktop. If you go back 20 years, 2 decades back, you will have all the only thick client applications that is only installed on the you know the Windows, and so you have to install the MSA package or DXE, sorry, or you need to install the EXE installations. Then it will install, and it will come up with certain screens, menus, everything. Those are all called it as a Windows based applications. Currently in the market, in-house of the organizations, there are a few mm, still depending on the Windows based applications. Might be those are all not directly connecting to the server, but internally those applications are being maintained, and few customers are working on those applications automation as well. Okay, that is about the desktop. And when coming to the web, I think everyone knows web. Okay, it's a browser-based applications client server architecture it is, and multi-oriented architecture also it is. So you are just only accessing the that application using the browser address, and you are accessing in your browser. That's where from maximum automations are happening right on today. Okay, that is one platform, and second one is the third one is mobile. So mobile as on today, so that is native apps and mobile browser applications we have. So in the mobile side, where most of the customers are working. The next one is the ERP. So this is the very important here. Oracle, SAP, Workday, Salesforce, server. There are other packages also, but these are the main that we came across in the organizations for the assignments. Okay, and then next one is next platform. I would say in the database side. So far, I covered front end, which are mainly focused on the latest technology side. Okay, this is the database. Every platform, GUI platform is integrated with the database side. Sometimes we may have to do certain automation side on the database side. Depends on the need. That is not every time, but need. If any specific customer needs, we may have to ready with the solutions. So might be a different databases, like you have data will be available in the flat files, and you might need to extract and do it for some other operations, or you wanted to validate those kind of operations. And there are the different databases. In the database also you need to connect and take and just see the based on the conditions, the data is available, and those kind of checks that we need to perform on the database side also. That is depends on the need. So some customers may request. So, and most frequently that we are using is the web services, where most of the platforms now integrated with the REST services. Okay, so we might need the tools and solutions for this automation as well. And recently we are seeing GraphQL as well. So to querying the particular service effectively. So we have a GraphQL architecture. So that is currently coming up in the market. And then finally, we have a mainframes. This is the legacy systems. So mainly main vendor we have seen in the mainframe side IBM. So that's why I mentioned more here. So this is the one kind of legacy platform where we might need to sometimes customers are looking for the automation of those mainframe screens as well. There are certain tools compatible to the automate mainframes. So these are the common platforms that we are coming across all the industries. There are other platforms that I have not mentioned, but these are the platforms can give you an input to think over on the applications landscape side. Okay. Okay. In the bottom, I have categorized. So in the desktop, what kind of tools? Okay. So we have commercial and open source. So here I'll give a overview on the what is commercial and open source. The vendors who developing and uh, selling their the tools on certain price. Okay. They have their own different strategies that we are calling it as a commercial tools. Okay. And open source tools and frameworks may not have any tools, but we can call it as a mostly our frameworks are solutions where so those there is a open source forum. Those assets will be registered over there, and the code, so the source code, everything will be available, and we can take it and we can customize, may use it for our learning and other purposes. That we call it as a open source. These open source solutions and frameworks will be developed by a group of people coming from the different vendors and joining as a team and registering into the open source forum and working on the frameworks. So you may see the well-known open source framework is that is a Selenium. Depends on the different languages, and then Appium is the mobile side. So like this, these are the open source, and you might have seen the test ng, that is a assertion mechanism, and BDD Cucumber. There are also so it's a open source certain part, and then they have also it's a commercial strategy as well. So like that, and in the commercial tool side, source code it will not be revealed because that is one by specific vendor who is developed, and they'll have some kind of licensing strategy where depends on our users. We have to buy monthly or yearly or semi-yearly, that we need to buy the number of licenses, then all the features will be available. So that's about the commercial versus open source. Okay. The learning of commercial is different, tools is different, the learning of open source is different, that I'm going to um, give you overview in the next slides. When coming to the website, you have commercial tools will support commercial with cloud solutions, because in order to run the test suite on the different browsers, we may have to definitely take the help of cloud solutions. That's why I mentioned commercial cloud solutions. And then open source frameworks where you have to use the Selenium, some other frameworks as well, Cypress or Playwright, that also supports the web. Okay. And when coming to the mobile side, you have native apps and mobile the browser. It is predominantly integrated with these tools are supporting. Okay. And is commercial tools with integrated cloud solutions. Suppose you have a tools, but in order to run the different mm, variants of devices, so you need to use the commercial tools definitely. And cloud solutions integrate the open source. So nowadays, in the recently, these mobile cloud solutions are integrated with Selenium and Appium solutions. Okay. So that is, and open source frameworks also available for the mobile apps automation. Okay. And when coming to the next platform, ERP. So so these are the Windows based architecture, and the look and feel and the applications, the controls. You have to install the certain components. So these are all these things. So whatever the tools as on today in the market, available, that supports these platforms. Okay, commercial tools. Okay, so what are those tools? I'll give the examples in the next slides. But those tools are available to automate this package-based applications. We call it as enterprise resource planning, ERP-based applications. Okay, and when coming to the database side, yeah. So tools anyway by default it will support, but from the language side also you can connect. You can apply the query string and you can connect to the database and you can pull the data and you can do it. There are some DSL the frameworks which are open source based, like we call it as a in the open source side, robot framework, Python based framework. That is, we call it as a DSL, domain specific language, which are natural language based frameworks. There is another framework, we call it as a Karate framework, which supports even this database as well. Okay, or else if you have a language and you wanted to build a one solution, you can take the help of BDD Cucumber. So that is also a doable solution. Okay, so that's about the database side. So I'm not confined to the only commercial tools, but it also supports with the help of languages and DSL frameworks. Okay, and for the web services, you have these things. It will commercial tools will support by default, and open source the frameworks and the languages and DSL frameworks. Okay, so these DSL frameworks built on certain languages, and by default they have some libraries which will connect with these services and query and get the results. Get, post, put methods are all well available, and then can be automated those services. Okay, and when coming to the final, that is legacy platform, that is the mainframes, only commercial tools will support. Okay, so this is the platform overview. In your scope, in your boundary, in your wherever you are working, if at all these are all following. Suppose if you are experiencing this particular area, okay, just find out what are the tools that organization is providing, or find out what are the tools your customer is currently running on. So better to choose and get onto training mode. Okay, or else you do not have anything, only just going on the functional recipe, but out of your interest you wanted to learn specific tool. Yes, so for that you need to consult with certain information. The tools are available, and which tool that you find out and start the journey. Okay, and coming to the web, mobile and web services, these three are most common platform that every customer is using their business applications. So, uh, if they are sticking to this specific tool, suppose if you are some customers preferably choose only commercial. There are certain reasons. Okay, so if you are existing with those customers, it better to start using those tools as a learning. Okay, suppose you are not you are in this particular assignment, they are not using any of the tools. Okay, so you do not have any focus on any kind of automation over there, and you have to find out your interest, whether you are in the commercial side or in the open source side. Okay, so while you are choosing, there are the two factors that you need to decide, whether you are interested in the coding side or whether you are interested in the non-coding side. Okay, that I'm going to explain in the next slides. So but in this one my focus is on the platforms is supported by what kind of a tools that I have given over here, whether it is a commercial or open source. Here I have given you the difference between commercial and open source. Okay, so let's switch over to the next slide. Tools and technology. Now we are seeing the approach. Now we are seeing the platform line. What we exist in the platform line that I have shown you. Now we are going to see the tools and technology path in a comprehensive way. Okay. So once you start with the tools and technology, first you need to understand the automation landscape. Okay, there are a number. Someone talks about ideas, someone talks about tools, someone talks about version, someone talks about version management. But you as a beginner, where these tools are falling into, that is must. Nobody is going to tell you, this is where this is mapping. But this particular session will go give you overview on that information. Okay, so suite of tools. So this landscape is primarily integrated with this suite of tools that supports the automation lifecycle. Okay, creating a comprehensive end-to-end solution to effectively, and efficiently meet testing targets. Okay, so you might have seen about the what is automation life cycle. Okay, so typical the life cycle is your design, development, and execution, and management. So these are the core the phases that we have in the automation life cycle. Okay, so in that one, the next part that you have to find out is where this so okay, in the development phase, what are the things that will come into picture. Okay, so in the execution phase, what are the tools? So here I have mentioned which uh, combines the different family of the tools for here. One is automation tools, development tools, and solutions. When I say solutions here, open source solutions will come. IDEs. Suppose you are working on open source, definitely you should have IDEs. Integrated development environments you should have. Okay, and CI platforms, continuous integration. Suppose you are working on a corporate assignment, and where the results have to be tracked in the CS side, and it has to be initiated from the CS side, then you must know what that CA is. Okay, and then in the version code, it's not that one script we are not right developing this one. So in the real world side, you are developing the hundreds of the scripts, but management is must. For that one, we need to use the um, version code platforms. Okay, and then in the right side, nowadays past a decade, we depend on the cloud solutions. So whatever the web and mobile working on different various different versions of the devices and browsers, they must use. We cannot provide all in the our host system, right? So we have to take the help of the cloud solutions, because the application needs that kind of comprehensive testing across the versions of the browsers. In such case, we need to take the cloud solutions help. Okay, if you are engaging in a mobile assignment, definitely you will come across one of the cloud solution. You just take that one and get on to learn. Okay, that is one thing. The next thing is test management. Sometimes a few solutions, few uh, uh, customers want their assets to be integrated with the test management tool. Okay, so we have the solutions, various approaches to integrate or automated scripts with test management. The moment the suit is run, the results will be reflected in the test management tools, in the platforms as well. So you should know these things. Okay, so these are the different tools that falls under these areas. Okay, so if you are talking about the development, okay, what are the tools and solutions that comes in mind? Okay, if you are talking about the IDs to write the code, you have certain IDs. And suppose you are the team is talking about the CI platform, so you should be aware what is that CI platform. it is falling under this one. Version code. There are a number of tools are there. So what are those tools? And your assignment is preferring which tool that you need to focus. And again, cloud solutions. Suppose your assignment is integrating with the cloud solutions. So how? What is that one? Find out. Okay. And the next one is the test management. Suppose if you are using your customer using the particular management tool and it is integrated with the automation suits, then what is the tool? How it is integrated? That you need to. Okay. So one by one, first you focus on the tool. If it is an open source site, you need to focus on the IDEs, and the rest, these two steps will come into picture. Okay. So as an automation engineer, basically, first you need to start with the IDEs, or you need to start with the tools that, to develop the scripts. And definitely the next two parts are your execution and your version code. So execution primarily fall under this CA platform. Okay, you are executing as alone from the IDE while development and while issuing the script and while developing. But in the regression testing side, you are not going to execute one single script, right? You are going to execute hundreds of scripts in a batch. There is a separate platform that we need it. So that what is that platform that you have to understand, and you know to put it in your learning tool stack. Okay. So this is about the automation landscape which fall in the automation life cycle. Okay. So these are the major components that you need to focus. Okay. So now let's move on to the next slide. Tools fitment. This is where that I'm attaching my tools with my approach. Okay. So that's why I have mentioned it as a tools fitment. Okay. So if you focus on here, automation development, where you need to focus on the tools, build tools, solutions, and IDs in this particular development phase. In the execution phase, here, previously I have given in a different way where you need to look at what are the different ways of platforms available in the life cycle. But here, how each phase will be fit particular category of the tool. Okay. In the execution phase, build tools that will be coming to picture if you are working on the open source solutions. CI platforms anyway, that is common for both your commercial tools and open source. Management tools, what kind of management you have to. And cloud platforms, if you are a customer using any of the cloud platform, so definitely you need to pick it up. So that will become under execution. And when coming to the code merge, okay, you have developed the uh, code manager, you have developed the scripts. So your customer is using your certain platform, then you need to use version code management tools. Okay, so that you have to focus. And then here I have given the the brief on to effectively maintain this various tools frameworks are in place to serve the purpose. Okay, so we have a dev and execution key phases are there mainly. So we have a development and execution, because these two are key phases in the life cycle. Otherwise, whatever the solution that you are developed, so it will not give the good results. Okay, version platforms, it's a it's not about single script, it's about the thousands of scripts. In such case, this platform is useful. Okay, so overall, it's not specific to one particular area or one particular tool. It depends. So each industry customer follows different based on their organizations strategies and various other terms with the tool vendors. Okay, so that we have to understand and align with our plan. Okay, this is about the tools fitment based on the phases that we have as on today. The next thing is we have Windows and ERP. So here I'm focusing on for Windows and ERP. I'll come up with only on commercial. Okay, based on my experience, commercial is the best category where it supports uh, all package-based applications along with Windows. Okay, here the key that I'm going to explain over here is Windows and you can see Windows and ERP. Here I have mentioned model based, and I have mentioned no code and low code and code based. So if you see past decade industries based on these two categories. One is model based and second one is the no code and low code. Why it is? Because industry want the delivery should happen uh, as quickly as possible. Okay, that way the vendors came up with various the approaches, inventions, and came up with their innovative ideas in their the solutions. Okay, so finally coined it as a model based and no code and low code the based. I'll explain what is model based. So I have given in the below as a Tricentis Tosca is majorly supports this one. There are other tools are there, but based on my knowledge and experience, I'm coin uh, this tool, which supports model based. This means our engineers don't need to write any of the code. They simply drag and drop the controls based on the given scenario. Suppose you have to have the login scenario, right? You need to enter the password and you need to enter the username and login. So there is a different, the controls are available. This will be so you just drag and drop so that behind it will generate the code, and you don't need to write any code out of. You don't need to write any call, any reusable components. So automatically it is based on the model base, it will pull the those blocks. So that is a different kind of innovative thought that implemented in all the commercial tools, because developing such kind of easiness, it makes worth definitely a worth value for that one. Okay, so as on today, uh, this is the testing tool side. If you come across any of the RPI tools like UI path or automation anywhere, purely based on this model based only. Okay, so this model based is very advantageous. One is quickly writing the completing the scripts, and very robust, and since it is coming from the commercial family, definitely it has its own other components to be integrated for execution and management and etc. You don't need to go any other open source frameworks. Okay, so but how it is useful to the mm, non-technical engineers. Okay, suppose you have a functional, but you do not have any experience, but you have some kind of gene to learn automation and make your progress. For those people, these kind of model-based family tools are perfectly fit to learn, adapt, and continue their journey. Okay, so that is one thing, and so that's why I'm telling. So beginners, okay, you have a family in front of you, commercial family in front of you, and when a tool is coming and supporting this kind of model base, it's good to pick right away. There is no second thought. Okay, that way you slowly adapt to the automation mindset, the automation terminology, the automation process. Okay, sometimes people have fear to write a code for any automation side. So from the past decade, there is a changes happen, and a lot of innovations happen, and they came up with the same very easy features. That is user friendly to the end users to write the scripts quickly and effectively. Okay, that is. And the next one is in this category, no code and low code. Okay, so this kind of, we have in the market as on today, Catalan test complete. There are other tools are available, supports no code and low code, but at a glance I have given these tools. Okay, so these are all not kind of model based, but these are kind of keyword based, and you don't need to write any code over there. 90% code is available, remaining 10% you might have to touch the code and tweak reusable components. Okay, so these tools are also very very competitive with model based tools. The- but approaches are different, but achieving the results at the end is same. Okay, so that you need to understand. So whoever is, you don't need to worry about hey, I need to write a code. No, so it is providing the very user friendly keywords. You don't need to write keyword, those are all reusable keywords, so you can use it. Okay, that's about the no code and low code. And the next one is the code based. So if you see 20 years back, so whatever the script, we need to write the code, comma, and the length of the lines code, reusable component we need to write those things. Suppose we want to write any complex code, definitely we need to depends on. As on today, all the tools, but though they have come up with innovative approaches in their architecture, tool architecture, so they are supporting the code based also. Sometimes complex features it may need. Okay, that may be a 5%. So we may need this the facility as well. So commercial tools will support code based as well. All tools. Okay. So these are the the examples. These tools I have given, which supports the Windows and ERP. Okay, exclusively. So while you are doing this one, you have to, again I have mentioned over here, area of interest. Okay, you are interested in the code, hey, code tool, or you're interested in no code tool. That's your primary check that you have to do it yourself. Okay, okay, you are only interested in no code side. I want to learn a tool which supports the no code. In such case, you have to first start with these kind of model based tools. Okay, so if I have a little bit code also there, no problem, I can able to adjust. In such case, you can this one. Okay, if any tool is depending only code based, then better not to choose for our learning. Okay, suppose by luck this kind of a model base is using in your corporate assignment currently where you are working, then directly go on grab the learning. Okay, there is no second thought if you ask me. And suppose your organization is providing any such kind of tools learning which are having the model based tools, then you can have a plan. If you are not interested to on any of the code based or low code based tools. Okay, so that's why when you are choosing, when you are working on any of the ERP applications and you are desperately looking for the learning of particular tool, the choice that you have to make out of these three. Okay, available within your organization learning mechanism. Okay, so this is about the uh, commercial tools learnings which falls under Windows and ERP. Let's switch over to the next, web and mobile and web services. I have highlighted whatever that again commercial and web I have highlighted here. So don't take these two because this is the gym color and this is the no web. Okay. In the web, I have given again same. whatever the tools, because since it is a commercial, definitely it is supporting the web platform, and it will come up with the model based and low code and no code, code based. So same similar strategy. If you are in the uh, web applications and you have the tools are available in the customer side, and he is looking for the workforce to be learn on a particular platform, then if it is matching to the model based, then don't wait. Go ahead and start the training, because it demands no code only. Okay, it is easy to learn. Okay, so that is. And suppose in case, so if you're supporting the tools which supports the no code and low code, then also it is start the journey on particular tools. But at the same time, you have to think on these three factors and take the step. So this is about the commercial. Family is on the web platforms. Okay, and then web services. Sorry, then we have a mobile cloud solutions. As on today, native apps automation is in very high demand, and most of the customers are depending on apps automation, especially on the GUI side. Okay, so here also, but here two things that you need to understand. Obviously, mobile cloud solutions commercial only. There is no second thought. Okay, and here uh, supporting on model based for the apps is still under research and implementation phase. Definitely it will come, but so far the tools, these are the platforms that exclusively supporting mobile apps automation with it has support. They're saying that no code and low code and code based. So they have their own, these solutions have their own the frameworks, and which supports the low code based feature, and perform the apps automation. Okay, so I have given certain examples. These are the prominent mobile cloud solutions available in the market. Okay, if any organizations, any of your organizations are using, you are without any second thought, you can pick it up and you can start the journey. Okay, sometimes this has been by default supports the all Selenium and open source APM open source frameworks, and all these also support integrated with the open source frameworks as well. They are, so in this component, mobile component, you are learning two things. One is open source technologies, that is Selenium or Appium. The second one is mobile cloud solutions that you are going to learn. Okay, so it is helpful. Suppose if you come out of mobile cloud solutions, definitely whatever you learn on Selenium, that is going to be helpful. Okay, so at the same time, these factors that you need to consider when you are choosing the tool for the mobile cloud solutions. Okay, so if you learn one solution, then definitely the architecture might be different, but the way of taking that application automation by cloud platform is a bit different. Underlining the technology, underlying way of approach is same, but the user interface, how to call the devices, how to up the apps, okay, how to work on the apps. This may be a little bit different, platform to platform. Okay, but the approach that we are automating the application is same. Okay, so that's about the mobile. Then we have web services. Whatever the tools that I have given examples by default supports, but exclusively we have two platforms in the market that supports um, this services automation very extensively. Not only automation side, development side, they will support. Okay, to develop a API, right? There are certain things, so that has to be integrated with the development platform and perform a unit testing, the make a mock APIs, etc. And all these two are well supporting. Okay, so that's why I mentioned only these things. Most of the customers are for using these two things. As far as example, I have taken this one. These two are purely code based, but they also started with integration of the some kind of the BDD, the frameworks. Are they are coming up with the some bots, certain functionality. If you give the inputs, that bot will generate the script for you. So that kind of a features they came up with, and whoever is interested, then definitely it is useful. So far, I have seen in the Postman. I'm a regular user of Postman. Okay, definitely in the Ready API also, it's a extensive tool family, supports the uh, web services, all web services, and it came from the Smart Bear vendor, and it came from the Postman mm, vendor. Okay, so at the same time, suppose if you are so interested on the web services side, it is good to start with these commercial tools. Okay, so if you're still using your customer using Postman, don't wait, just grab and learn this one. Okay, definitely it will match with one of these factors, and it is useful, as I said in the my initial slides. Okay, so this is about the web services. Now I'm jumping over to the open source. Before getting into the open source, so I have given a overview on the tools and technologies which are specific to the commercial family. Okay, I have given you overview on the Windows and ERP, web, mobile, and web services. What are the tools falling in? And so, as a examples, I have given few tools, and but there are different tools uh, in your area. It may come. So you have to see whether it is matching with your skill area, core skill area. Then you can take it. Whether it's a model based, don't wait. And if it is low code or no code, then take it. And if it is a code based, you are really interested, then you can take it. Okay. And the next family is open source. Yeah. In this one also, I think whoever is at mm, whoever is involved in the open source area, then definitely they have an idea on the this family. Okay, so this family mainly, actually, these are all libraries. So initially, if you take the if you go back to the 5 years time, you have to write this script for every method. You have to write the script for every script, and there we have reduced the effort in terms of achieving the reusability within the application across the components. That's where we have that is the one kind of the strategy that reduce the development effort in the test suite development. Okay, so these are the open source frameworks that we have for the web automation. Okay, I'm not giving anything on the recommendation, anything on the Windows for the open source. There are certain components are available to certain functionality for Windows apps, uh, only on need basis that we may have to use. But in the open source for web extensively, we have a history of 2 decades from the Selenium side and WebDriver about decade, and we have a playwright and the playwright and Cypress. We have been seeing for the past 5 years now. Okay, this supports languages like Selenium supports all the languages, WebDriver, JavaScript, and Playwright. It's a JavaScript based, and this one is Cypress also is a JavaScript based. Okay, Playwright is coming from the Microsoft side, and Cypress is a separate family open source forum. They are registered and they are giving this framework. So this is about open source site. So in order to achieve the low code and no code, they are implementing the BDD frameworks. BDD frameworks are basically it is a natural language the frameworks that a user can write the the scripts in the natural format, and it will integrated with the behind codes that one has to develop. Without developing that one, this will not become a low code. Okay, at least one has to sit and develop the code behind those natural language statements, then it will become a low code based solution. And a robot framework, it's a Python based keyword framework, and it came up with you need to write in the keyword format in the IDE, and it will. So mostly 80%, I would say, this is uh, the no code based, and only 20% is the low code when you are familiar with the Python family side. At the same time, you have to take the factors. So suppose you are so interested in the coding side, so it's best to choose open source family if you're starting your journey. Okay, that too. Here many things. One is Java, Python, and JavaScript. So once you are, suppose if you are good in the Java side, okay, start with your journey with the Selenium. You already started, and optimize by integrating the BDD frameworks. Suppose you are confident, you're so confident, and in the Python coding side, better to start with the robot framework because it demands the low code. Okay, everyone have to generate the scripts, number of scripts in a day productivity. In such case, we need to choose these frameworks so in order to give the high productivity in a day. Okay, so nowadays no one is following the traditional approach by writing the scripts. So everyone is smart techniques. Eventually, it will give the better productivity. Okay, in a day. That's where everyone is looking at. Okay, so no one is interested on the traditional approach writing the code. The code I'll write now. No one is interested. But how effectively you are generating the number of scripts in a day is the matter. Okay, so that's why you need to choose when you are working on the open source side. If you're so good, then you have to immediately integrate your things with the open source side. I'm talking about the who is already passed through the Selenium on the language side. Then it is switch over to the BDD frameworks and adapt and the solutions. Every solutions, every organization of following the BDD solutions. Okay, so that's about the open source family and the website and the mobile side. In the mobile side, we have the two frameworks, that is the Appium and WebDriver IO. As I said, low code and code based. These are all will be achieving by these two frameworks. Okay, BDD as well as the this keyword driven framework. Okay, and again you need to consider. Suppose if you are interested on the code base, then definitely. So once you learn right, then definitely this learning will be useful when you are switching over to the mobile cloud solutions, because these mobile cloud solutions at the back end uses these technologies. Okay, for automating the native apps or mobile browsers. So this is about the mobile, and then you have web services again. So in the web services also two things that again you have Java, Python directly. You can call the services and you can get if you are using the code base. And at the same time, you wanted to improvise your solution with low code, and then it supports the BDD. You need to add the BDD flavor between your code layer and your script layer. Okay, so that's where BDD layer will come into picture, so that it will be easy for you. And then if at all you don't want to write anything, there is a two frameworks are available in the Python based framework. Karate is the Java based framework. These are the DSL, the frameworks we call it as a domain specific language that is written in natural language format. Okay, English based format, that is you can use. So instead of putting the time on coding the services, you can take the help of these frameworks, integrate with the solution, and you can develop the number of scripts in a day more. So you can take whenever you are interested in the web services. These are the two take-ons that you can take it. And then again, share platforms. So once you are learning the your development commercial tool side, definitely commercial tool side supports these tools. Suppose they have their own in case you can go through, or else your tools supporting the Jenkins, or your customer is using the Azure DevOps, you can use it. These are the well-known CI platforms in the market. That's why I have listed it here as an example. So you can take it. So once you learn your the test automation tool or open source, don't stop your journey. The next step is uh, CI platform that you should know. As an automation engineer, you should know how to integrate your automation solution with the CA, and you can improvise. So you don't need to depend on the any of the DevOps. So every customer may not have extensive DevOps team, but at the time you may have involve and understand, and you can integrate. To a certain extent, you can take the advantage of this platform, and you can present the results in the platform, or frequently you can run the results. You can run the test suits on time intervals. In addition to that one, you should know how to integrate. Okay, this is the CI platform that you have to adapt. Obviously, this for learning purpose, we have a open source versions are available. The moment when you switch over to the commercial assignments, you will have the enterprise license versions for these platforms. Okay, the next one is version management platforms. So on the market as on today, we have is GitHub and Bitbucket from the client side. There is other well-known platforms are available. That is one more is GitLab also we have. So different customers uses the different platforms. So once you learn the tools, once you learn the CA, and next one is the Git. So this is the one more another third component that you have to be focused very. Okay. And what? So no other thought. So if most of the customers are using the GitHub, yeah, it's good to learn. You may not look at for other platforms. If you learn right one particular platform, similar kind of a pattern, command patterns, or way of storing the data into the platform is bit different, but the way of executing the commands is same. Okay. So that's about the open source side. These are all the two. So for learning, we have open source available this one, but if you are working on commercial, enterprise side, you will have the commercial licenses. Okay, you don't need to worry about the commercial licenses as long as this is our learning purpose. You can create your free account and you can use these platforms. And then next, so commercial side don't need to worry about the IDs because the tools itself will provide the IDs. But when you're working on the open source side, tool side, ID is the must. Without IDE, you cannot frame any of your solution. So these are the IDs that I have framed based on the languages. Okay, so I have chosen based on my experience and the feature. That really I felt very comfortable and have these ideas has seamless features as on today if you take the latest versions. And from the Java side, there is a family called vendor called JetBrains. They came up with the IntelliJ IDEA family of tools for different language platforms, and the Java side IntelliJ IDE. So apart from their enterprise version, they are providing the community editions. Whenever you heard a word called community edition, that will become your open source. Okay, for learning purpose, we can use these open community editions. So they are giving almost 50% of features are available. That more than sufficient for the developing our own the solutions learning open source. uh, technologies. Okay, so that is Java side. The next one is here. We have is Python, PyCharm. There are a number of ideas are available, but I like most PyCharm, as I have mentioned. So if you are coming across this particular IDE, you may take it. And VS Code, Visual Studio Code. This is from the um, Microsoft side. So it's a completely open source, and you can take this and you can use it for the Python and C sharp for C sharp with Selenium. You may use it. This particular tool will provide a number of plugins. Okay, while developing whether it is C sharp or JavaScript or Python or HTML side, it supports a number of plugins. Like this supports, this one also supports. Okay, and then the next one is well known, for learning purpose. Most of the folks are using the Eclipse. So this is the one of the idea where the learning sources use this one. But I would prefer during in the professional side developing the suits and maintaining the suits. I prefer IntelliJ IDE because it has its own features. The latest version is coming up with AI features that I'm going to deliver one session on this one shortly in the next a few weeks. So I did a kind of explore on this version. So I'm going to publish on that one. So this is about the ideas for you. So when you're working on the open source side, this is another component that you have to be aware how to compile, how to write, how to use the features available in this particular idea. Okay, so definitely this facilitate platform development environment for various open source frameworks libraries. So it's not only so for Selenium means earlier what we have to do is we have to download the library and attach, right? Nowadays what we are doing is so we are taking the build tools help, and we are putting in the pom.xml file or gradle.build.gradle file, right? So what it is taking, it is taking that information and processing it, talking to the particular source, and downloading, attaching into the solution in the ID. Okay, for that purpose we need. So this about the open source IDs. We call it as a community edition. I mentioned clearly here. Don't don't confuse with the commercial. Commercial is different. Community is different. Okay, always look for the community edition whenever you are working on any of the IDs. Okay. And then again, the most important thing is build tools. So without the build tools, your solution will not complete. Okay. So in the open source, commercial tools not required. This is only on the open source side. So if you have this one, see, this has integration with this build tools has integration with all the components. Okay. One is IDEs, and then second one is languages, third one is the solutions, and finally for execution, it is also supports the all Jenkins and this one. Compatibility is there. All the platforms will support these tools. What primarily it does, build tools? Build tools primarily is for compiling the your script or your test suits. Okay, you cannot do each apply the command for each script, right? It has to take all at once and process and make it ready for the execution. Otherwise, it will take a lot of time to execute any script. And then it has, most of the libraries, open source libraries, built on these tools. Okay, so if it is Java, so we have two are there. Now, primarily the build tools will come into picture whenever you have any Java-based solutions. Okay, so we have a two famous build tools we have is Gradle and Maven. Gradle is most advanced version of the Maven. Still, most of the projects are following the Gradle and Maven. In the learning side, most of the learning sources follows the Maven. and I would prefer Gradle to start with latest and follow with highly professional solution. Okay, so latest version will supports all, but it has to be compatible with the rightly compatible with the Java version as well, JDK. Okay, so that's why once you start with the tools and once you start with IDEs, CA and version platform, this is one of the area where you need to focus. At least a 10% you need to focus. Most of the focus ignore this particular area. So whenever we ask how do you execute the scripts, means we'll execute from the tool, but they won't tell about we'll execute from the command lines. Command line tools are useful when you are integrating your solution with CA platform. Okay, there you cannot go the manually, you cannot execute, right? Suppose if I schedule a job, the Jenkins will take that job and will process it. In order to process, you need to apply certain command. So to apply that command, you need to know what is the command that I have to give the compilation of my test suite and then run that particular suite. That is possible only when you know the commands for these build tools. Even for tool is doing, your ID is doing for you, but if you are applying the command, that you should know. Okay. The next is in summary. So we have reached the last. I just summarized whatever I have given in a nice table format, so that at a glance you can find out how you can choose based on three factors. One is model based, no code, low code, and code based. Again, I have given you. I have given. I'm telling here. Whatever the tool that I have mentioned is only examples. Based on my experience, based on my analysis that I have mentioned, but in our site, you might have different tools. So you have to match with about three factors, then you can start the journey. Okay. But open source side, whatever the information that I have mentioned is most of the customers are using. Okay. Most of the learning sources are demanding these things. Website Selenium, and then nowadays we are seeing the Playwright and Cypress are picking up, and then framework side that robot framework and web services side Karate framework is available. That is the DSL framework. Okay, that is the open source at certain stage, but they're also giving the commercial. Okay, so this is the at a glance that I have given. You may take it and you can see, consult with our expert who is available at your end, and you can take your journey forward. Or else you can approach me via at Rewirechannel automation channel, or you can put the comment. Then definitely I will respond out of my free time. Okay. So this is the summary that I have out of this particular session. Okay. And finally, I just wanted to give you one input where it is integrating with my next session. Okay. So the journey that's needed, tools at full stack. Okay. So commercial tools full stack what? So we have come across tools, integrate solutions. So all the nowadays commercial tools also integrated with the open source. When I say integrated solution means it refers to open source and CA platforms and version platforms. So these are the most common components come across in the tools family. If you are going the path of the commercial, you don't need to look for any other components. You look for only one particular vendor that I'm good. Okay, as of today, I'm going to learn that Tosca means Tosca has a family of integrated component. You focus on only that area. That is going to be your full stack, because it is going to meet the CA platforms, it is going to meet the version platforms, it is going to meet the integrated solutions. And finally, it is also going to meet the total overall your tool things. While tool developing, you have first you need to start with the identification, and then you have to build the reusable components. You need to build the scripts. These are all will come into picture. Okay, and then mobile cloud solutions. Yeah. So if you're starting the first as mobile cloud solutions, very good opportunity that you have to take it. It includes all. You don't need to look at any other things. Whatever the commercial too, that cloud solution your customer or your organization is preferring, you take and look at or integrate a solutions next part. These things. So always first you need to focus on the first part in these two lines and then focus on next. That is must. Without knowing these things, your thing will not complete. Okay. So I have given a brief description what exactly that I'm going to, the present over it here. Okay. So this automation product solutions is encompasses design, development, execution, reporting, and management, ensuring effectiveness and efficiency throughout the process. This is the tool stack at commercial side, and this is the open source solutions at uh, full stacks. Okay, so open source full stack that I would say is there are a few things are added here. One is solutions. So when I say solutions here, Appium, what we call it as a Selenium or WebDriver IO or Cypress or Playwright or other things and IDs. In order to use those solutions, you have to have IDs, right? That you need to. And then BDD frameworks that you have to. Okay. No, you have to. Once you are strong on that one, first develop those things. Learn as a plain code, and then advance with the your BDD frameworks. Okay. And when you are developing a particular solution, you have to have integrated frameworks. Means, for example, in the Java technology, you have to have the for assertion, you need to use the test engine, right? And for Python side, different thing. Okay. So and then CA platforms. Okay. So once you are ready with the here in the BDD framework side, you might have DSL frameworks also that you have to be well aware. Okay, if you are choosing one particular line, Java as a language that I want to be perfect. Okay, in the open source side, it has its path. Okay, and CA and version are common for all the paths. Might be the platform that you are picking is different, but the way of using is common. So you have to use one particular tool. Okay. So that is, and then version platforms that one. Suppose you are picking up CI is Jenkins and version is GitHub. Yes, stick to that one. That's it. That will become your full stack. Why I have given these two styles is commercial side and open source. Because my session next is going to be on how to become a full stack automation engineer. Okay. So people, as on today, based on my knowledge by observation, people only stick to one particular area and forget about the remaining components. Okay, but if at all you wanted to become a over the 5 years, want to become a full stack means this one. This is the family that you have to. Java side, yeah, family. If you are good in the Python side, family that you have to. That full stack, you have to be thoroughly ready. Might be your Java and Python family solutions supports version platforms like GitHub, uh, Jenkins. You were already learn, so you have to only focus on this area. Okay, so that I'm going to explain in the uh, how to become a full stack, and I'll cover all the tools so that it may be useful your journey. Okay, so I'm going to publish might be another 4 to 6 weeks. Definitely it will take time. Okay, so out of this session, this is the inputs that I wanted to share to the community and forum. So you may take it, and if it is useful, Definitely you can put the comments in my YouTube channel, and you can follow Medium, and you can subscribe my channel in the YouTube platform site. Okay. uh, Thanks everyone. That's all I have today. We'll catch you in the next session. Bye.